Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last video I talked about the PCCs, my SBRs, and my weird fascination and obsession with chassis systems. So I talked about that I had bought a Flux Raider system and I hadn't been able to use it because it was not compatible with the height sights that came on this 320, and this 320 was like a special order. I looked back on the box, and the deal was these were originally sold strictly to law enforcement and agencies only. So it was a configuration. It had like the X-carry grip frame and all this shit. Anyway, so the sights are a weird height, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it being special order, but they're just barely high enough to clear the rear sight. So they're not exactly like co-witness, but they're not exactly suppressor height either. They're like a weird intermediate type height, but they will not cooperate with the Flux Raider chassis. So I talked about in the last video what was going to be smarter. Was I going to spend like 150 bucks and replace the sights, or, you know, I'm talking about like that's after shipping and everything. Was I going to spend like over $100 and replace the sights, or was I going to try to find a police trade-in 320 and just, you know, go that route and just have a whole new fire control unit and slide to throw in the Flux Raider? So that's what I did. I got on multiple websites that I frequent, and I started looking around for the lowest price on a full-size 9mm 320, and I managed to find one for 300 bucks. And so here we are. The grip module was pretty much crap, which I didn't mind because I really only needed the slide. The slide is really not in bad condition whatsoever, but the grip module was cracked, so I got it. That's why I was able to get it for the price I got it for. Anyway, so I went ahead and got everything thrown into the Flux Raider, and so now I just wanted to do an update. That one, I spent more money than I should have because of an OCD of not wanting to change out the sights and take the optic off that, because then I'd have to like swap it all back around again if I wanted to use the Bravo chassis, and I really like the Bravo chassis. But now, the Flux Raider, is it worth it? You get some cool features with this gun, with 320 as a gun, but as a chassis system, you get some cool features. One, you know, they have done some improvements. According to their website, from feedback from Special Forces and SWAT, they've done a lot of modifications on this. First thing I noticed is the grip angle is better, but you know, the features on this, you have multiple different ways to eject the magazine that's feeding the weapon. Then for the speed loader, if you want to, you do a hard press, eject both, and then you put your magazine back in. Then, you know, so you have three ways: button up front, a lever, and then you have a regular magazine release button over here. So three different ways to eject the magazine feeding the weapon. One way to eject the magazine that is for the speed loader. You have a manual safety now, which is a safety. I mean, that's kind of cool. It's easy, it's pretty stiff right now to actuate, but it's pretty easy to engage in terms of I don't have to move my hand whatsoever to actually engage the safety, which is cool. I can't tell any difference with the brace, to be honest, whether or not they've modified that in any way, shape, or form. I don't remember if my other one did this or not, but once you've ejected, you now have multiple ratcheting, probably should turn it, you have multiple ratcheting teeth on it, and that does seem to allow for you to put it in a little bit different lengths if you wanted to, at least two different lengths that I can tell, and that could just be, you know, but so yeah, you can change. I think that's a feature, or it could just be me wanting to make it something that it's not. Do I regret buying it? I really like the Bravo system. This thing is really cool because I like gadgets. My generation, we like things to put in other things. Yes, I'm a child, okay? I get it. People have already commented on it. But we like things that go inside of our other things. We like things with multiple purposes. We like caliber change kits. We like guns that are supposed to be like a generational platform that you can swap out barrels and then make it into a different gun, and then that promise is let down. And it's just like all the dads that went out to go get milk and cigarettes and never came back, and were left disappointed and wanting to know if the gun is ever going to make a comeback, and Bushmaster won't answer our questions. But still, here we are with the Flux Raider, and it's pretty damn cool. Is it worth the extra money compared to the other chassis systems? yes and no. If the 320s weren't like shooting people without the triggers being pulled in their holsters, it would 110% be. Did that scare me off enough not to buy another 320? No, because again, a little bit of OCD there, and I didn't want to swap out components back and forth. I don't know how many 320s are affected or what the serial number ranges are on those to give you any feedback. But I will say with the Flux Raider, I wouldn't have any issues, SBRing a fire control group out of, I would definitely SBR this fire control group. It's a better trigger, it's flat faced, yada, yada, yada. I would SBR this fire control group, put it in the Raider, and I would have no issues making this a dedicated PDW. And Flux, getting on their website before making the video, they make it very easy to buy the stock, to change out the brace and make it a PDW once you SBR it. Strike Industries does the same thing though. They sell this as a stock. And by the way, I know my finger was just like right there in the trigger guard. I've checked these weapons multiple times. That's still really bad practice. Don't do that. It's stupid. You could end up shooting yourself by thinking something. Anyway, just don't do it. SIGs already have enough troubleshooting people on their own. They don't need any of our help, okay? So we have a blade back here, but Strike Industries makes a stock that you can remove the blade, put the stock on if you SBR it, or if you want to pull this off and put it on a rifle or another SBR like a Draco. I've seen a lot of people do it with Dracos, like an SBR Draco, and they waited for the tax stamp to come back, they pull the blade off, put the stock on, and that way they're not having to spend another $200. These braces are only about $100 when I bought mine. They may be up in price now, but this is not the dual folder. It folds one direction only, which is fine with me because I don't need it to fold both ways. But the Bravo chassis, I really like it a lot. So I don't have any regrets about buying the other 320, at least that's what I'm gonna tell myself, because to do a good comparison of which one I like better, I'm gonna have to have both and not have to waste time swapping back and forth fire control units. And so here we are with me spending $200 more, probably really $175 more than I would have spent on a set of sights to be able to use the Flux Raider. Now I'm going to be, get on my OnlyFans after this and get the feet pics so I can pay for that, if you wouldn't mind. Now I jokingly said that, but someone is going to ask for the link. There is no link. John, there's no link. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Hope you guys have a great week. We are on Thursday. We're getting ready to go into the weekend. And that's a good thing, right? Hopefully, if you don't work, go put on some regular cool LARPing gear and get out there and have fun. I'm going to go over a great Black Friday deal that I got, and it is a Rock River Arms UTE. The next video is going to be over the pile of camos that I have in the background, as well as the UTE, because in my opinion, it's one of the perfect blends demonstrating my generational love for weird shit and guns and innovation, by having an A3 blended with an A2 in a perfectly mutt combination. And these UTs were on sale pre-Black Friday for an amazing deal, and I'm very pumped to have another one back in my stable here. So thank you again for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and yeah, hope the rest of your week's good.